Welcome back to Unraveled Gaming. And today I have GuGong, which I have received in a trade. Um, I'm not attempting to purchase games this year. I am willing to trade games. And what was it? What did I trade for this? Um, Man, it is blanking in my mind what I traded for this. But it was a game that was not getting much play by our family. And so they were willing to trade Gugong, and I think it was a good deal. And I've been played a solo playthrough. Is going to run another solo playthrough here so you can see it. And I'm not going to go into great detail in the rules, but essentially Gugong is you start with a hand of cards, and you're going to trade one of these cards of a value for one of these cards on the board, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places you can trade these cards. And each card does a different action. I'll explain the actions as I go through the game. Um, when you trade a card, essentially you want to put down a higher card than the card that you're getting, because then you will get to take the action on the card if there is one, and you'll get to take the action in the space. Most of the actions on the cards tend to correspond with one of the spaces on the board. It just means you can take the action at that space. Um, there are the kind of the money in the game, in essence, are these workers, and you send these workers out to do different things. Some actions won't require any worker. Some actions will always require at least one worker. Generally, giving up a worker allows you to do more. So in this case, the second action, you'd give up one worker and you could place two workers. So anywhere from it be quite a few workers. Like this action over here will can require up to like four workers because you have to pay a worker plus another worker for each person on the space, and each action requires a different number of workers as a base cost. So pay up to five, maybe even six workers in those action spaces. So the question then becomes, how do I get these workers? Well, one of the workers you can obtain through your shipping area is this double worker, and it counts as two, and that's pretty useful once you can get that. The other thing are these lovely Destiny dice up there, and you'll see me use those at the end of every round, and there are 4 rounds, as you can see where that little black disc is, 1, 2, 3, 4. Above that is the Destiny dice, and at the end of each round, you will get workers for each. When you trade these cards out, say I get this one, and then I will put it in my discard pile on my board. Well, at the end of the round, for each card that's in my discard pile that matches the Destiny dice, I will get a worker. Now, in this case, there's a 9 and 2 threes. So what will happen there is each 3 that I have will actually be worth 2 workers. So that's significant. And then at the end of the round, there's also a deal where if you get the most workers, if you have the most matching Destiny dice, you'll get a bonus 3 points, and you'll get to move your I forget what you call it. This there's a caravan. I think it's a caravan up the toward the palace of Destiny, or whatever the palace is called. I can't remember what the palace is called here. A few days ago when I played, but the importance of this is that if you don't get your worker up there by the end of the game, you don't qualify to win. Simple as that. Now, I'm playing a solo version, and there's Automa cards. He doesn't have to do that. He can beat me even if he doesn't get his guy all the way up there. So the Automa gets to cheat in that way. Um, so that's the general flow of the game, and there are different. I'll explain the actions as I get to them. I have a couple competing things going on for me today. One is it's early in the morning, and my family is not awake, and so my cat. We put our cat in the laundry room for at night. Well, he's going to make some noise, so that's not going to be super fun. If you hear the cat meowing, that's why he really wants to get out, but I'm not going to let him out because what he likes to do is run down the hall and wake up the entire family, and then everyone's grumpy in the morning, so we don't want that. So we might hear the cat meowing on the video here. The other thing is my allergies. I was outside all day yesterday, so I have not taken my allergy medicine this morning, and therefore I have some sniffles going on. Got a box of tissues next to me, but you won't see me on camera because, the game's more fun than my face. So, bear with me 1 second. I gotta get a coffee cup here for my coffee. Just occurred to me I do not have to leave my office because we have our coffee cups from our national parks trip. This one I think we got in Big Bend. It doesn't say Big Bend on it. Oh, yes it does. Boom! Big Bend National Park. For whatever reason, my kids were yelling, so adventure begins the whole trip, and so that's why I got that one. Alright. The other thing I have going against me is just my naturally not super great video quality. I just use my cell phone to record these and don't have a lot of video materials, so, or fancy video setup or anything like that, so I just kind of do what I can because it's fun to do, and we'll get it going. All right, so the player starts the round every game. As I said, there were 4 rounds, so a lot of this first round is just deciding what do I want to play. Now there is a 3 on the board that comes out naturally. I really like to get these over here because these are how do I say it? Like, they're kind of multipliers. The 2 lower ones in this corner will give you something every day. So this is a very good thing to get early in the game. This will make an action cheaper or give you something when you do a certain thing. I am going to have to refer to the rules for a couple of these because I can't remember them all. And these are going to be endgame point scores. So this one will give you 2 points for every one of your ships that has a cube on it, and this one will give you 2 points for every jade that you have, in addition to the the points you would already get for jade. Jade gives you points, in-game scoring points anyway. So this is actually a really good one. I probably will try to go for that at some point. But that 3 is really sort of the intriguing piece that I think I want to try to get here, because that 3 is going to be worth some workers next round, and I like that. You're going to get some workers anyway, 4 workers going into the second round, but I'm going to trade that out, and so this card, this 3, will go to my discard, and it'll be part of my hand next round. So that's one thing to consider when you're trading cards out, is what cards do I want next round. But I'm fairly new to this game, so I wouldn't say that my thinking is going quite that far in advance, but let's see. So the first thing, if I want to take the shipping action, I have to do that first, and that's down here. So I can put a ship out and put put the boat down. I have a boat in my supply. It's right here. So I put this, it's got room for 3 workers, and once it fills up, then I may take an action. So if I only put 1 guy on the ship, then the ship will move forward 1. So I think I want to do that. I could put 2 ships down, in which case 2 of them would be on the board, and I would have 1 here and 1 here, and I'd have to pay a worker, and then I could put 2, but that would cost me 3 workers. I don't think I want to spend all my workers just yet. I do want to take this action here, which is the Great Wall. And that, we're going to build a section of the wall, and once the section gets to here, we we score the wall, we get some intrigue bonus, possibly, if we have enough intrigue points. But for now, I can either put one worker on the wall, or I could pay a worker to put two on the wall. I don't think the wall is going to be a focus of my attention this game, so I'm just going to put one. And then I'm going to move over to Automa. So that's turn. Turn's pretty quick. They're not real complicated. So the Automa card, he is going to trade at the Jade section. So he's going to take this Jade card, put it in his discard, and then he's going to put a card down here. Now he's got a 9, and the 9 doesn't have any action on it, so he'll only take the Jade action. This is for later in the game. I'll explain that when we get there. But he is going to take the Jade action, and he only ever spends the fewest workers he can, so he's going to spend 2 workers, which is how much it costs to buy this Jade here. It's the cheapest Jade that one can get. So he's got some Jade. Now it's my turn. So that's a pretty quick turnaround as far as turns go. Honestly, if anything takes me a lot of time in this game, it's deciding what to do with my turn. And in this case, I am not 100% sure what I want to do with my turn. Now, I really want that 9, but I don't particularly have a good way to get it. Because that would help me with Jade. I do like Jade. I do want Jade. I'd like to eventually get this end game point thing here. Let me see what this is, because I think there is a thing I can do with that card. Immediately score 3 victory points when you exchange gifts. You may now also exchange gifts with the same value with an official and perform the action. So yeah, usually you have to put down a gift that's higher than the one you're taking. This would allow me to exchange gifts at the same value, but it's not the most helpful. And I can change gifts for lower value, but then I have to give up more workers. 2 workers or a card in my hand to do that. Now that's a big, big cost. It would give me an extra Jade, but if he puts out a 3, I'd rather get a 3 than the 9. And I really want one of these over here because they're extremely helpful. This one will raise my intrigue once every sunrise, and this one will move me up the palace toward the endgame scoring once every sunrise. And this one is actually, I'm almost guaranteed to get to the top if I do that one. So I really like that one. Getting the cheaper Jade would also be extremely good. It's just a lot of good ones. It's hard to choose. It only takes I only have to beat a 4 to get that one. The other option is to go here, because with a 2 I could get that 1, and that would actually that's a tough one, because I could get an extra card, but then I wouldn't have enough to do this over here. So this worker balance is really a challenge. Trying to find the balance of playing the game and having enough workers to do what you want to do. Man, that is a tough deal. I really don't want to miss out on that, which I could, but then again, if it's a 3 later, I'm fine with it. I'm going to take a chance here, and I am going to go after this, because I really want to get this one. So it's going to cost me 1 worker, and there is no other worker here, so I can place one of my tokens there. You only ever do it once, so that's good. It's not very expensive for me to take that action in general, because I'm the first to do it. And then I'm going to immediately score 3 victory points. So I will move 1, 2, 3 up the victory point track that hopefully you can see on camera. Yeah, it goes around the outside. And now I have this sunrise action, which we'll do when sunrise comes. And now it's his turn. So he's gonna, he has got the palace action. So he's gonna pull the 5 here and put down a 3. Oh, yeah. All right, and he is going to move up 1. So his caravan moves up there. He never does 2, he just does the single action, and then in the twilight is when his actions will get more powerful. Oh, he also gets a worker. So he gets that. That card gives 1 worker. All right. Now that put a 3 down there, which is what I want. Excuse me. So I'm going to take that 3 because that'll help me down the road. And I'm going to put an 8 there. And there's no action on the 8. So the question is, do I want to pay 2 workers? And I think I'm just going to do 1 worker, because with this guy here, I'm going to be getting this guy going up every round, and that's going to get him at least 3 more spaces, plus there'll be other actions in the game that move him up. So I'm not going to mess with moving him up any higher than that. Oh, no, he's not taking the action. I thought he was taking the action I wanted, but he's not. So he's going to grab this 7 from that action space, and he's going to put this down, and he's got an 8. So the first thing he's going to do is take this action here, which is move forward 1 on the intrigue, and he's going to take the first player marker. Then the second action he's going to do, now that that card's done, is he's going to just move up. Is that where he went? Yeah. Move up 1. Right? Did I pick the right space? I think so. Also, his... Nope. I didn't do that right. This was the action he took. So, he has to spend workers for this. He always gets the... like, we're in the first era, so he'll take this one first, and he'll take the cheapest one always when he can. So he's going to pay the worker, and he's going to grab 1, and now each sunrise he will go up 1 on the intrigue. So that will be his play. And now, for my last action, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade out here and get that 1. And that's going to give me a mask action. Well, I don't have enough workers that I want to spend. So I'm just going to move up once on the intrigue track. That's just going to be the easiest thing to do. And then I will put a worker. The question is, do I want to get... I could get another boat out, and it would jump ahead. So it's kind of... And this early in the game, it doesn't hurt to get 2 boats out. Have 2 boats out. That would not be bad. Or I could put 1 here and move it forward. It's kind of a win-win. I'm gonna, because the boats move at night anyway, I just have to make sure I get them filled up before too long. No, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna put a second boat out. I'm just gonna, because if something happens and I can't do the action and I end up down here, that'll be bad. Because if the boat gets to this last space and then it moves at night, then it's lost at sea and you lose all your workers. So it's not helpful. So we're not going to do that. Now he still has a card, so he's going to flip over another one. Whoops. And he is going to... Okay, so this is his sort of special action that's cheaper for him. And I forget, there's like a... Basically, he gets to take this action way less expensive than it would normally be. It's a super good action for him. So he's going to go to the... this is called the Palace of Heavenly Purity. He's going to go to Decrees. So he selects Decree as normal, and places one servant from his general supply on this decree. If his general supply is empty, he uses a servant from his servant pool. Okay, so this is why this is cheaper for him, because normally this would come from your servant pool, but he gets to take this card, and he does this, so this happens as normal, and he could do a Great Wall action, which that can come over here, and he'll put one guy on the Great Wall. But it's this bottom here. Normally it would come from his supply, but this time he just grabs one out of his the general supply, and he gets to put it there and just take that action, and he doesn't have to draw from his regular supply. So this action here is just that much less expensive for him, and it's a pretty easy deal. Now I don't know if his Twilight ones are one free set. Okay, he just gets a free set for Twilight. Okay, no terribly bonus extra there. So now we would normally go to the evening phase. That would be the next step. And all the steps are kind of outlined up there. We took actions, and then we go into the evening. Oh, that's the morning, actually. Yeah. We've been doing the actions, and now we would do the Destiny Dice. But because we're with the Automa, we have a Twilight phase. And so I take his Automa cards that he played that round, and I flip them over. And then each one, I'm going to do the thing here. So Twilight, he's going to move a Traveler one space. And so for his Traveler, he's right here. He always starts here and then moves around clockwise. So he's going to grab this, and that's going to give him an immediate move up there. And then that goes to his kind of a section here, and you can do some other things with this that I'll explain later. So that is gone. He's used that card, and now he goes here. And if he has two workers, he's going to basically do this action. He does have two workers. He's going to spend those two workers, and he's going to move up one here, and he's going to move up one on the Intrigue. So that's his action there, and that goes out. And then here, he's just going to move his Traveler one. So he's going to go to the next space on the outside, which, oh my gosh, I cannot remember what that card does. What that little deal does. So this is the one I'm looking at. See if I can get up in here. I don't have as much light as I want. So that's the chit we're looking at. Discard a gift card of value 7 or higher from your hand onto your discard pile and receive 1 jade from the jade supply. So some of these, I'm not 100% sure. I think this one might just give him a point. Usually, if you can't do it, it's just a point. If he collects the token, which discards the gift card to receive jade, he discards his top gift card, whether the value is 7 or not, and takes the jade. If this happens in Twilight Fade, he doesn't take a jade and gains a victory point instead. So, this is one that just simply gives him a victory point. But he does get to keep that, and that is the Traveler. And then the last one is he just moves his Traveler forward again, and this time he would put a cube from the general supply onto his ship. So he gets a ship out here, and he gets a cube on the general supply. And then that will go to his thing there. So that's his Twilight phase, and then we go to evening phase. So now because it's round 1, it's just assumed as the Automa he has 1 Destiny dice. It doesn't matter what his cards are. They're going to go to his draw pile either way. So he's assumed to have 1. So I have to beat 1. Well, I have 2 3s, which gives me 4 workers into my worker pool. So I'm going to grab those. And since I'm first in that, I had 4, then I am going to get to move up toward the Palace of Heavenly Sun once, and I'm going to get 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. And at night, we also move our ships ahead 1. So they shift up 1, and that shifts up 1. And then we go to a new age. So the first player token goes out there. He keeps this first player token. Well, I should say he gained it because I was first player the first round. And then let's see. We got to put more of these out. So new tokens come out every round on the Traveler to fill in the spaces that were taken. He stays right there, but he didn't get that. And then we need to re-roll the Destiny die. All right. So we have a 6, a 1, and a 4. And we're going to go to round 2, and everybody, well, actually, we'll do that in a second. First, we do the sun actions. I am here, and he is there. So both of us get to move up 1. And then he is here, so he also gets an intrigue. And then we will get workers, and each of us get 4 workers from our general pool into the our regular pool. So that gives me quite a few extra workers this round. I've got 9 this round, which is a lot to work with. And he's first, so he's going to get to draw. We've gained our workers. We do actions, and his first action is going to be on the Great Wall. So he's going to take this 4 right off the bat from off the board. We have a 1 left, but that's it. That's rough. And he is going to take first he's going to take an intrigue action and move up 1, and also grab the first player token. So he'll be first player again, and then he is going to place one of his fellas onto the wall. So now the wall is pretty close to complete, and right now he's winning. But I'm probably not going to worry about that too much. I've got pretty low cards this round, which is going to make it a little rough on me. However, I do have how many 9s are there? There's only 1 9, and that would be pretty handy. But I am going to do I want that, or do I want that? Which one is that? Does that come from my discard pile? So I've got a symbol on one of my deals. It looks like I get a card of some sort back, but I got to make sure it actually would qualify for me to get it back. And I forget what that symbol means. I think it means I get a card from my discard pile. But there are lots of exchange 1 card from your hand or discard pile with a card on the game board. Okay. Hand or discard pile with a card on the game board. So that's actually not bad, to be honest. That can be quite helpful. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to take this action here, and the first thing I have to do is I have to exchange a card in my hand with a card on the game board. And the reason this is a pretty good deal for me is I don't have very high cards in my hand, and so I'd like to get something from the game board that is of higher value and maybe even gives me something I could use. That's a tough call. Got some 8s there. The 7s would give me the ability to take most anything. Although there's an 8 that gives me an intrigue over here. The shipping action would actually be pretty helpful to get that 2, but then it's low value. I'm not going to take anything else on the board. Well, I think I need to make the most of my actions, so I think I'm going to trade this 8 for this 4 and put that down there. I want to keep my 3 because it'll give me a worker, and I want to keep my 1 because I can do 1s for 9, and I'll explain why 1s for 9 work. So I've traded the card. So now I want to take, I think I want to take this action. This is tempting, but I'm not going to be able to get all these. I just can't afford it. So I don't want to put myself in a bad place. So for that action, I've got to pay 2 workers, and then I have to do this. And then what that allows me to do immediately gives me 2 victory points, which is nice. And actually, I forgot to give him 5 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's actually there. Every time I take the Jade action, I can take it for 1 less worker. I can pay 1 less worker, which is good because I'm going to need to take that action. So that's my action. And that is all I get. So he is going to go here, and he is, let's see, you can't see that from there. He's going to take the Traveler action. So he's going to take this 7, and he is going to put the card down, and he's gonna travel. He's going to this place here, and he's going to put a guy from his general supply onto his boat, and it doesn't say the boat moves, so he's just going to put that onto his boat. So now his guy's got an extra, his boat has an extra person. Once he gets to 3, he'll immediately take whatever action he's on. He actually, well, actually, he doesn't take the action. When his boat is full, he does something a little different. He will actually only take these top 2 actions. He never gets his worker, this guy here, because of his special card that gives him a more powerful ability. And now I think I will explain this. So the game kind of represents a the transition from one emperor to a new emperor, and the new emperor is trying to make the culture less corrupt. The old emperor really enabled a very corrupt culture, but some of that corruption carried over, and so the trading of gifts represents sort of families going to the palace officials to trade a gift of higher value for a gift of lower value, and that's where they get to take these actions. Well, in the era of China, I think it's around 1700 China, sometimes some of these lower gifts would have exotic fruits included in like a fruit bowl. And so an official might be tempted, in order to get some of those exotic fruits, to go ahead and offer a higher value gift for a fruit bowl in the hopes that one of those exotic fruits would have slipped in. And so they would tend to, trade higher value items for lower value items. So that's why a 1 can be traded for a 9 and treated as equal. So I will take this 9, which will help me take an action next round and do that. Now, I can take this action, which actually is really not bad. There's only a one way to do it, but the question is, what do I want to do? I really want to make sure I get this in-game Jade benefit, and I'm planning to go after Jade down the road, so I'm going to go ahead and pay 3 workers. I've got a lot of workers this round. I should take advantage of it. And then I will put a worker here, which doesn't give me any immediate bonus points. It's just end-game bonus points, but each Jade I get will be worth 2 points. And now I can get a Jade, and that's going to cost me 2 workers, but because I have this one here, it's actually going to cost me 1 worker to do that. And so I will take this Jade and put it in my supply. Last game I didn't go after any Jade, but Jade is pretty good, so I should have done that. Alright, so now he's going to travel again. So he's taken the 7, and he's going to put this down. He is going to take the Great Wall action. So this goes from his... Oh, that doesn't go from his supply. He has to pay it from his thing there. Now, the Great Wall is complete, so we have to score it. So the first thing is we see who has the max on the Great Wall. Well, he does. So all his workers are going to come back to his general supply. He's going to score 3. 1, 2, 3. So now he's ahead of me. And he gets to move his worker up toward the Palace of Heavenly Sun 1. And now we can look at the intrigue board and see what's here. And the intrigue board is if he wants, and he's always going to do one of these actions. He could move back. I think he does. Man, I think he does only one of 2 or 3 things as the Automa player. So let me double check his intrigue. Great Wall scoring. Meng takes the benefit to gain 1 Jade if he has at least 7. Or a single servant. Okay. But less than 7. Okay, so he's only going to do one of 2 things. If he had 7 intrigue, he would pay 7, go back, and he would get a Jade. But he doesn't have 7, so he's just going to go back, and he's just going to get a worker. That's what he does with intrigue. Now, I have a choice here. I could stay there and not do anything, but I think I actually need a worker. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one from my general supply to my main pool because I just feel like I'm going to need it. Now, my guy stays on the wall. I don't move him at all. Only the person who is scoring and won the scoring has to move their stuff. Okay, so it is. Oh, he was doing the traveler action, which I never finished that. So now he's going to go up on intrigue and gets another token. And wow, he's getting close to getting 6 tokens there. Might get a Jade just from that. All right, so I have. Well, I really. Oh man, now I can pay 1 less to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to trade Jade. The 1 is actually going to give me a worker next round because of the thing up there. And I can pay, normally it would cost me 3 to do that, but because a couple things happen. 1, I'm going to get a worker from that card, and I can pay 2, that's the lowest place to get it, because I have this guy. So I'm going to get a Jade for 2 there, and that's my turn. So now he's going to go, and he is going to take shipping. So he's going to pull that 2 there. He's going to put this down. He immediately gets a worker from the card, and then he is going to do the shipping action, which is putting a worker from his supply. And it would move. It doesn't really matter that much for him because he kind of does the same thing every time. He is going to get a card regardless. So one of his, we actually use an alternative player here. He's going to put that there, and he's going to get one of these cards. This is like basically giving him an extra turn. So that's going to go to his discard pile. Normally, if it was me, it would go straight to my hand, but for him, it goes to his discard pile. And then his ship is going to come off with these going to his general supply. And he's done. And I have 1 more action. Now, I'm going to look at something here. I've got at least 2 extra workers coming to me next round. Not bad. I could get a 3rd worker. And he's going to be... Now, here's the other thing. The intrigue track is also a tiebreaker. So right now, if I don't get that 4 or this 6, then what will happen is... what will happen is I will I will lose the tiebreaker. We'll both have 2, because it's the second round. He's going to have 2 toward the Destiny dice, and I will have 2, but he will have the tiebreaker because he's higher up on the intrigue track. So that's something to bear in mind. I'd really like to beat him because I think I can, and I think there is a way I can do this. So I think what I'm going to do it's going to be taking a chance a little bit. I'm going to trade out on the shipping, and I'm going to grab that 6. So that's going to give me the third that I want. And I take a cube here from my supply, and I go down here, and now I can take any of these actions. Well, I think the action I want to take is to get my double guy. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to put my double into my worker pool. So now I kind of have 2 workers. Oh, I forgot something. On the intrigue, I was going to go up 1. I wasn't going to pay any extra because I couldn't anyway. Now, what that does... Oh, the double. Yeah, because the double is a pretty good worker, and that's going to help me for an extra round. So that's going to be my thing for that. I thought about getting an extra card so I could get another action. I was debating doing that instead of the double. Actually, that's what I'm trying to decide. Is it worth getting another card? Because an extra turn is pretty valuable in this game. The double worker is also valuable, but I'm getting a lot of workers. I think I am going to go for the extra card, because that's going to come to my hand, and then I can take it, because he's all out of turns for this round, and I can take this turn. So I could get that 4 and take an extra turn. I'm going to get to build in the Great Wall either way, so I could build twice in the Great Wall if I do that. I could get Jade, but I don't have any workers. And honestly, if I build in the Great Wall, I don't have workers there either. I don't have workers for a boat. Ooh, I'm kind of light on the workers. And I'm not going to be able to use this action for the wall because I don't have a worker. So I'm sort of stuck without the workers. I could just move this guy up. Oh, that wouldn't. Actually, I couldn't because I have a 5. So part of it might be the action I want. I would like to get my double worker eventually, and this would give me a ship to work with for next round, which is kind of not bad. The 4 is actually worth a worker next round. It just means I can't take the action because I don't have a worker. So I hate to do that. I feel like that's not very valuable. Well, it's a tough choice. I think I am going to go for the ship. Well, workers are awfully good. Yeah, I'm going to go for... No, I'm going to leave that 2 there. I'm going to go for this. I'm not going to get Jade, but I'm going to put that there so that I get a 3 that'll give me a extra worker next round. So we'll do it that way. The extra turn will be handy. So now I do his Twilight phase. So the first thing he's going to do is he is going to place a worker onto the Great Wall. That does not trigger scoring. So that's his first action. And then he is going to pay 2 to move his Traveler another space. So he's going to do that. And that is going to do, if he can pay 3 workers, he will get a Jade. He doesn't have 3 workers to pay. However, if he discarded 1, 2, he could only get 2 workers, so he's going to just not get that, but he's going to put it here. But he does have now 6 of these, so he's going to discard all 6 of these, and that's going to give him a Jade anyway. So he sort of gets it one way or the other. All right, and that one goes out. And now he would pay 2, but he doesn't have any of these chits to change in for workers. He doesn't have any workers in his pool, so he skips that action. And he would pay a worker to put 1 on a ship, but he skips that action as well because he doesn't have any. So that's kind of The downside of Automa, even though he's got the stronger, cheaper actions, he does sometimes end up in a situation where he can't take an action as he did in this case. So, he is done. Let's see. We've done our actions. He's done Twilight. So, it's round 2. He gets 2 toward the Destiny dice, and I have 1, 2, 3, because I have, yeah, so I have 3. So that's going to give me 3 workers, which is fantastic. I also win that Destiny dice, 1, 2, 3, which means I get to move up 1 on the palace. If we had ships down here, they would move. We do not. So then we're going to go to the next round. He's first player. So we'll put this back over here. And we would put any new... put these guys down here. There we go. All right. I haven't even traveled at all this round. But you can't do everything. And then we'll roll our Destiny dice. We got this round 5, 2, 1. All right. And what are we doing? What am I missing here? Oh, daylight. We're each going to move up 1. He's getting very quick to the palace, and he gets an intrigue. So he's very quick to another jade. And then he's going to go first. So let's get his draw pile here and flip that over. He is going to do jade. Oh, we forgot to do workers. We each get 4 workers. 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So he is doing jade. So he's going to grab this 5, which is kind of sad because it takes away my thing. But he puts a 5 down. Hey, nice. And he's going to pay 3 workers to get a jade. That's what he's going to do. So he's at 3 jade. And then, what do I want to do? I think I grabbed jade from the wrong place. It should have been. He should have taken that one. Because now jade costs 4. I could get it for 3. Oh, man. That's a tough sell. It would get me a 5. Which I could use, because this round he's going to get 4, and there's not a lot of the other, really the 5s, well, there's 2, there's 2. But I have to use a lot of workers for it. And jade is going to be worth the most in-game victory points for me, so I don't want to pass on it. So yeah, I'm going to take this 5 and put down that, which is going to give me a worker. And then I pay 1 less jade for my jade. So I'm going to pay 3 jade to get this. It goes up to 5 jade once you buy jade from here. It's really expensive. And then he's going to go. And he's doing his preferred action, which is here. This is what he does anytime he does that. So he's going to grab that. And he's going to grab this. This is round 3, so he wants to take this action if he can. But he, I believe, does not have to pay for it. If I'm not mistaken. Decrees 1 servant from general supply. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is a general supply. So he just puts this here, and now he gets 2 victory points for every ship every ship that has a worker on it. Or for every worker in his ship, probably. That's probably what it is. So he's motivated to get ships out there to do that. All right, so that's that. All right. got a lot of ones here. That's not going to help me a ton. Unless I put one of these out first. And I'm down to 5 workers. Well, I think I'm going to do this. Not my ideal, but I need to get moving here. So I'm going to grab that 8 for a 9. And I'm going to pay 2 workers. And I'm going to move this guy up 1, 2. Plus I get to move the intrigue marker up 1. And I don't know. Does that give me... that's a good question. Does that give me the first player marker, which is sort of what I was thinking. I don't think it does. But I can use the intrigue either way, especially if I can get moving up to obtain a degree. Yeah, I don't think I get, I just get 1 intrigue. I don't get that marker, so I am not going to do it. So he is going to do his card, and he's doing the mask. I kind of wanted to take that action next, but I'm not going to get 2. So he also took a 2, which means 1 less card that I can get. Puts a 7 down. No other action. He is going to move and take the first player marker. Drat. I was hoping to get that. Now our Automa pile is empty, so then I shuffle the old Automa cards, and that's going to be his new draw pile. Oh man, well, I feel like I might have wasted some moves there, possibly. I don't know. We'll see. All right. What do we have? What do we have? We've got, well, we could do that, and we could do that, but I don't think we can do all things that we want to do. Now that could help. That would cost me 1 plus 1. It wouldn't be the worst thing ever. So, yep, I'm going to take the 9. And I'm going to put the 1 down because I can. And get the official to take my fruit. I'm going to take this action over here. I'm going to actually grab that, which is going to cost me 1 worker. And then I can put, and then I got to pay another one for his worker there. And now I can pay that, and that will immediately score me 2 victory points. And then in the sunrise phase, I will then get that. But then this action here is what I want so that I can get to the top here. And now I will score those 7 ahead. So I'll take that. That's worth it. All right. He is going to, boom, he's going to take that 1 and put that there. Not give me anything I can use. He's going to move up 1. That's it for him. All right. So I can't trade that. This is the only one that is going to get me anything. And this 2 is the only spot that I can really go to get anything. So a lot of this is going to be, and I can't even do that action because I don't have what I need to do it. So now we're kind of in a position where it's like, we're trading for stuff. I don't need this action anymore, so I really just kind of want to look for cards. 5, 2, 1 are probably the cards I want, and the higher the card, the better. I could do this though. I do have an option. If I discard a card in my hand I can actually take the action additionally. And since a 1 is worthwhile, what I'll do is I'll take this 5 for that 3, and then I'll discard this 1, because that puts 2 cards in my stack here that actually match the thing. Actually, I have 3. How about that? And I can do the travel action. I also get a worker, which is good. And now for the travel action, I can pick wherever I want to go. Now, I don't have 2 workers, so I just got to pick whatever is going to be the most beneficial for me. So we have lots of options here. I could put a boat out, get a couple of workers. I'd really like something that gave me 1 more 5, 2, or 1. Because that would allow me to get onto the what do you call it? I could win that deal up there, but it's only going to give me 3 victory points. So I don't know that that is actually the best option, is to trade that card out. It's nice, gives me an extra worker, but I wonder if workers wouldn't be the better option. Putting 1 from a general supply on my boat is not bad, and I'm very close to getting that jade. So I think I am going to go do that. I'm going to do that, because then I get to put a boat out and just put a worker on it from my general supply. And now I have 1 of those. So I'll do that. All right. So he is going to go here and trade that out. So the first thing he wants to do is put a boat out. And he's going to jump my boat because I'm in his way. And then, let's see, he does not have the workers he needs to get anything here. But I think he always gets 1, regardless of his thing. Okay, so he uses servants at their normal costs, and when taking the degree in any particular day, he will attempt to obtain a degree at the same day as the current, so he's 3, so he would try to get that 1 he doesn't have. When choosing between the 2, he obtains the cheaper one. But if he can't afford or has already obtained the degrees corresponding, he will choose a lower level degree with the same criteria. If those are not available, any affordable degrees that Meng has not already obtained, he always... Oh, if there's affordable, but he can't afford them. So he actually does skip this because he can't afford it. It's got to be an affordable decree, and he doesn't have one. So that's it. So he's going to do his Twilight phase. So let's see what he gets. He gets to move his action, his guy, and that will score him 2 victory points. So we'll give him those. And then he's going to move again. And he's going to trade, and I think all that does is give him a victory point. I don't think he ever trades that. He's going to move his guy 1, which moves him up to the palace, gives him another thing there, and then he's going to pay a worker to move his intrigue. Boom. Ooh. He'll be getting a jade here soon. All right. And then he would pay 2 workers to move that forward, but he doesn't have 2 workers, so that's going to be skipped. And now he just travels again, and he gets a worker. So that's that. All right. So he's got his guys, and then he is going first this round. So we'll move his cards back over here and my cards here. Oh, we have to check the destiny dice. So I have 1, 2. So he won that one. He won that one because he has 3 and the intrigue tie. So 1, 2, 3. He can't move up any higher there. Our ships move in the night forward. And then these will come to my supply. I did have 3, right? Did I have 3? I had 5, 5, 1. Yeah, I had 3. So he also had 3 of his, and he's gonna get 4 for the new round, and I'm gonna get 4 for the new round going into this round, and then we have to put new things on the board here. Boom, boom, boom. Put that one there, and we'll put this one here. Okay, that's that, and let's roll the die, and we have 4, 5, 6. Okay, and he is first. So he wants to do this. He's going to pop that in there, put a guy there. He goes up on the intrigue, and he takes the first player marker again anyway. And then he's going to pay this. He wants that one. He's going to pay 3 workers plus my worker. Boom. And put a guy. Oh, actually, you know what? He doesn't do that, because he takes 1 from the general supply and gets it cheap. He doesn't have to pay. Lucky dog. All right, so that's him. And then it's my turn. Let's see here. Let's see. 4, 5, and 6. These 5s are pretty good. We might want to consider, but workers next round aren't going to matter. This is the last round. The question is, what is going to give me the most? So I think what I'm going to do is pause it there, because I believe my family is waking up, and we'll come back and finish this game and in just a bit, and then see how the final scoring works. You kind of see the points over here aren't real high during the game. Most of it will be scored later in game. Oh, it's going to be pretty close. I did lose the first one by something like 6 points, but I also I was charging him full price for those cards, which I was doing wrong. So he would have beaten me by a lot more, probably by 15, 20 points. So it's pretty competitive solo game. But I'll come back and finish that last round, and we'll see how it goes. All right, let's see if we can finish up. I think he already went, so what am I trying to do here? 4, 6, 5. Looks like a cat walked across my thing. Yay. I think we both had that one. Good times. This one got knocked off. I think it was here. I think he had bought that. Alright. Love it when the cat walks across my thing. Alright, and he is on 8 there. He's going to get another jade from that. I've got 1 ship here. Actually, maybe this was here. He didn't have that one. I thought he did, though. Oh, yeah, here it is. Sitting up there. Alright. So, first of all, do we have a 9 down here? We have no 9, so we can't get that, but we could put a 9 down later and see if we can get it. So really, these 5s are kind of not bad. 6, that's the only one that is actually obtainable via jade, and I get, oh man, I get, I'm not sure if I'll be able to get another one that route, so I think I'm going to go ahead and take that 6, helps me with the final deal there, and I'm going to have to pay 3 workers, which is a decent amount, to obtain this jade here. I'll do that. Alright, so what's he going to do? He is going to travel again. So he's going to grab the 3 and put that down there. And he is going to go whoop, here. And he's going to put a worker on the wall. He does not have one in his general supply. Actually, he would only do it from his general supply. So since he has no workers in his general supply, he'll just get this and turn it over. He won't actually do it. So he kind of loses out a little bit on that action because he didn't have enough workers in the general supply. So I'll take it. That's a good thing for me. Let us see. Ooh, I could pay 3 workers for a jade there. That is not a bad deal. And then it gives me an option. Wow. 2 workers back if I did that. That is a pretty good. That is not bad. Because getting jade is awfully good. I would use a lot of workers, but I think it will be worth it. Maybe in the end. It only gives me a 1. The 4 would actually be a better one to go for. And I have workers I could get on the wall. This is another place I could get some jade if I moved forward, but 7 is not a number I really need. Really, it's just 4, 5, or 6. So the 4 would help me with the end with getting those, but I'm already at the top there. Whew. So it's really a tough question. I want to get more jade. Oh, and I think at the beginning of this round we were supposed to move up 1 here. I'm not sure if I did that. Actually, I think I did. I think I did do that. I'm going to move that back. I don't want to cheat myself. See, this is where it is a tough choice. Yeah, I think, let's see, and that is the wall action. And that is the intrigue action. Let's do this. Let's grab a 1. And you know what I'm going to do? I think, no, I could do the intrigue, but I think this might be more significant, possibly. So I'm going to go here. All right. And play that. Now I can take a. Oh, I was thinking about taking the intrigue action. Yeah. I was going to do that, but I think I changed my mind. I'm going to do this. I'm going to see if he plays a 9 later and see if I can take it. I'm going to go ahead and do that because with the intrigue action, I'm going to pay 1, and then I can move up 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll see if I can go for another jade, possibly. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to pay 2 workers to go 2 spaces. Well, this space here is going to be, that's going to give me 2 workers back. I will take it. And this one, I can pay 3 to gain a jade, which I will do. So that gives me this. So So now I'm at 5 jade. Anything over that is not going to be a whole lot of points. It's just a +2. But that gives me quite a few. So that's not a bad turn. Let's see what he's going to do. He is going to ship, so he's going to take that card and play a 2. He's going to actually ship twice. So his first shipping action is going to be to put a worker on there and move. And then he is going to get another ship and put a worker on, which is pretty good for him, actually, because he's got that bonus at the end of the game. I do not. All right. Now, the catch is now I have a 1, and there's no 9s on the board, so I really kind of want to play that and then see if I can get enough points to justify. And then I had taken, well, that's when I take the jade action. I was going to say I should have one more worker back, but that's not true. And I don't necessarily, like, one more jade would be all that I would particularly want. I could count that as 2. That is not a bad deal. So traveling's not bad. This costs a lot of workers. That's not going to help me. Don't have enough workers for the wall to be of much use. Getting a double worker could be, or another card could be an option that might be worthwhile, but I'd have to have another worker somehow. And that's only going to be gotten through there. Yeah, I'm going to take my chances. I'm going to go traveling. And I'm going to get this 5, which helps with that anyway. And I'm going to go down here and grab this, which counts as 2. That's my turn. He is going to travel. And he's going to grab this 9 here, which is unfortunate because I was going to take that. So I'm a little irritated. And then I believe, I forget what his, we got this token here, and I can't remember what that token does for him. Back in your hand. If Ming collects the travel token, which recovers a discard gift card, he recovers the top card of his discard pile and adds it to his remaining gifts. So he's going to take top from his gift card and add it there. He would just gain a victory point during Twilight. So he gets it. He gets a gift card back. That's his deal. So he's doing that. And then he gets this. He immediately can turn all of these in for Jade. So he's going to do that. He's going to turn all that in, and he's going to get a Jade. Because anytime he can do all 6 of those to get a Jade, he does so. Alright, so that leaves me kind of, I was hoping I could use my 1 with a 9, but now I can't. So basically I'll only be trading this for a number. Could be a 4. I'm not going to get much for it. So this 5 is really the catch for me. Now I could take a discard back from my hand. Let's see, if I took 1 back into my hand, what would it be? Well, probably not the 1. I hate to lose a 5 or a 6 because those are actually going to help me win that last deal. The Great Wall action isn't going to help me a ton. The ship action doesn't help me a ton. I really need a worker. But the only way to get a worker is via intrigue. Now I could move up on the intrigue. So that if he completes the Great Wall and I get to take an intrigue action, I could go back and get 2 workers. But it's real sketchy doing that. It's real sketchy. The other thing I could do, because I have 5 and a 6 and a 1, I could go back on the entry to change that 4 to a 1, and then I will discard this and trade this for a higher number. But I don't know that I want to do that either. This is a tough choice. I think I'm going to stick with what I was going to do. Grab that 3, put that there. I can take a great wall action, which may be worth it. I'm going to go ahead and stick 1 on there. I probably won't have the tiebreaker, but who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky. And then I will go here because I can grab this and I can take a card from my discard, and let's see, all I would want is to get another one of those. And 3 does nothing, so I'm gonna do that there. And then as a free action, because this one counts as 2, I can turn all of my things in here, including that one, and I can get a jade to add to my pool, which is actually good to me. And then he is going to get jade, so he's going to take the 8 and put down this. It's got no number. He is going to pay, he has to pay 5 workers, right? He has to pay 5 workers for that jade. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does he have the cheap one? He does not have that one. So he's going to have to pay 5 to get that jade. Ooh, that was expensive for him. Alright, now I might be able to kind of stay in the game longer. And I forget what this card, I gotta check this card out again. What is the back of this card? Exchange 1 card from your hand or discard pile with a card on the game board. Okay. Alright, so 1 from my hand or discard with a card from the game board. I like that. So I'm probably going to play this 3. I don't have a worker. And that's probably the biggest challenge for me right now, is not having any workers. And no real way to get a worker. I could get one up there, but I'd have to discard one of these. So the places I can play here, but I can't really do anything if I do that, except exchange a card. I can play here, but I don't have a worker to get anything. It's kind of a tough call, and I would need a worker to do anything there. So, it's not the easiest here. Nothing. This is a tough one. Could also go there, but it's not really worth it. Go on for 2 victory points, maybe. Well, I think what I am going to do is I'm going to exchange these gifts because the 5 is worth a thing to me. And then in order to take the action, I am going to discard this. So since the 1 is not worth much, it's worth the least amount to me, I am going to exchange a 1 with this on the board here. So we'll do that. And then I will move here and grab this, which will give me a single worker. I'll take it. And then it's his go. So he wants to go to the wall. So he's going to grab, whoa, this one. And he's going to put this down. And that's going to, he's going to build on the wall. So he's going to put one guy on the wall. And that, of course, triggers the wall. He's ahead on intrigue. So he is going to get to move. And he is going to get 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. Plus he moves up here, but he's already up. And now we each get to take an intrigue action. He has that many, so he's going to go down to 1 and get a jade. He always does that if he can. So he's doing that. I have 5. So the question for me, and my cards are 1, 2, 3, 4. So changing a dice doesn't do anything for me. I don't have enough to get jade. Not really much. If I get 2 workers, it just lowers my number, but I have no actions left in anything to do with workers. So I don't think that is going to be of any benefit. So I'm just going to stay. I'm not going to take an intrigue action on my turn because there's not really much I can do. So then we do his twilight phase. So he is going to move forward 1 free action on this space. He gets to put a deal on his ship. He will actually put 1 on this ship because he can fill it. And then those will all come off. And he will get another, let's see, I think he would take, normally he would take a card, but I think he will just take 4 victory points because the card's not going to help him. So I'm going to give him what would be 1, 2, 3, 4. I think by the rules he'd probably just take a card because it's his second time, but it seems unreasonable because no one else would do that. If he has 2, he would move his worker forward. He does not have 2, so he will not do that. If he had 1, he would do that, but he doesn't have any workers left, and he has no way to get workers. He doesn't have 2, so he can't do it. He just moves forward 1 on the outside, which moves his intrigue forward 1. He gets there. Now, if he needs a worker, he could get a worker. So let's see what this one is. So he can turn these 2 in to get 1 worker, and then he can put a worker on the wall, and that's it. All right. So that is all of his actions. And let's double check the final scoring here, and we will see how I did. Set up for solo, twilight, special cases, what am I missing? Nearly identical. I have not reached teammates scoring penalty points. Okay, that's of little import. After 4 completed days, proceed to the final scoring in this order. All right. If there are servants on the Great Wall, and there are, scored as usual without intrigue benefits. So now I have the most servants on the wall at the end of the game, so I actually will score 1, 2, 3 victory points, and I would move up there, but I can't move up anymore. So that's kind of nice. I don't think I finished the night. I finished the twilight phase, but not the night phase. So we went ahead and did that scoring. I think I have to do, how many cards do I have? He would have 4, and I have 4, but because I'm higher on the intrigue, I actually get that one. So 1, 2, 3. Nice. Ships move forward, which isn't going to matter, but it will for him. Okay. All right, now players receive victory points for the level 3 decrees that they own. Whoops. So let's see. He gets 2 points for every worker he has on a ship. So he gets 2 points. He gets 2 points for every jade that he has. And he has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 jade. So he's going to be 24, 34, 5, 36. And I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So 19, 29, 30, 31. So I'm going to be at 31 for jade. Oh, max was 10. So we got to go back 2 because we cannot get more than 10. Didn't see that. All right. And then victory point, depending on their arrival at the Palace of Heavenly Purity. So I got 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he gets 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we get score for Jade. Let's see. All right. So for Jade, he has 1, 2, 3. He has 6. So he gets 15, 17, plus his 39, 49, 56. And I had 6 as well. So 15, 17, 36, 46, 53. So there it is. 3. Wow, 3 points difference. 3 points difference. That was pretty close. That was closer than it would have been the last game. And so I don't feel too bad about that. That was a pretty good. That was a pretty good game. Still lost. Have to work on figuring out how to manage those points a little more closely against the Automa, but I did better on Jade. I got no Jade the first time, so I did better. I also rotated the dice more to get the benefit of those, and I didn't do that this time. So there's still some work to be done, I think, to really take advantage of the Automa on this more so than I did. But I did notice he runs out of workers pretty fast, so that kind of worked in my favor. But that is GuGong. So if you liked it, give it a like, and feel free to put any comments down at the bottom. What you think of this game. I'm looking forward to this game is by Andreas Stedding. I'm looking forward to Stroganoff later in the year in October, so I'm kind of curious how this compares with that, but I do like the action management system. I think it'd be pretty fun with a multiplayer game, so I'll have to try it out sometime and see how it works. But thanks for joining Unraveled Gaming today, and have a great evening.